up, y'all? It's your boy Dez Nato checking in live from the heart of Jacksonville right now at Burrito Gallery with Latricia Taylor, the founder of Chastity Taylor Foundation, one of the local nonprofits doing a lot in the community. So if you haven't heard of them, make sure y'all Google them, search them, Instagram them, all of that. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, though, to our viewers and listeners out there.
Hi, my name is Latricia Taylor. I'm an entrepreneur and the CEO and founder of the Chastity Taylor Foundation, based out of here in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's what's up, that's what's up. So this is Live from New Jack City, Uncut, the Creators Room series. It's a monthly series that we do where we interview local business owners, talent, actresses, entrepreneurs. I already said that, I'm gonna do that over. Alright, so this is Live from New Jack City, the Creators Room interview series. It's something we do every month, interviewing local talent, business owners, and whatnot, some of everything. So welcome to our Memorial Day weekend of it. So
thank you.
I'm gonna let you kind of tell people about the Chastity Taylor Foundation, what made you start it, and the story behind it and everything.
Okay, the Chastity Taylor Foundation was founded in January 2015. Unfortunately, it was after a tragic accident where we lost my daughter to a DUI crash in November 2014. And during that time, although it's hard for a mother or a family member, anyone to lose someone, she was 22 years old that early, we decided to do something to turn a negative into a positive. So that's how the foundation was birthed. And through the foundation, because she was always smiling and I taught my children to give back, we thought, what is the best way to give back to honor her name is through something that we can give back to the youth and families here in Jacksonville. So that the foundation, we have 2 scholarship programs. We have a high school scholarship program that we offer a scholarship to a high school student that is going off to college. And then we have a partnership with West Duval Football Association where we offer a cheer scholarship. And then in addition to that, we do an annual back to school event. And it's not just a back to school, we call it a community give back program, because during that we give back the giveaway school backpacks with school supplies, clothing items, hygiene and food items, whatever that we think that families need to help them kickstart the kids going back to school.
Okay, that's what's up. And me and DJ Beast Mode did have the honor and the pleasure of working with you before and helping that out. So this year, are y'all doing that again this year?
Yes, we are. We are already starting up with that. We've already started receiving donations and sponsorships from different communities. Businesses here in Jacksonville. So we're already head starting that because we want to. This is our 5-year anniversary. So 5 is a big year. So we actually want to provide more this year. So we've upped our goal. So we're starting early to try to get that.
Nice. So what's the goal this year?
Our goal this year is 350 kids.
Okay. Nice.
We started our first year. We was trying to do 50. We ended up with 100 kids. We were able to give them all. Last year we had 200 and we had probably about 250 kids come out.
Nice.
So this year we want to try to service 350 kids and families.
That's what's up. So y'all make sure y'all get behind it and support. Where can they find information to donate or reach out to you to donate?
We can go to our website, www.chastitytaylorfoundation.org, and there's a donation button there. But if you go to our Facebook page, which is the Chastity Taylor Foundation, you will find all the pictures, all the information right there of how to donate, what we need, and how to get involved.
Okay. So that's definitely dope. So I want to definitely get my people, my viewers out there, all of our supporters for the Live from New Jack City Uncut and Creators Room interview behind that effort. So we'll definitely be sharing as much as we can, getting behind the effort. I wanted to ask, so how long have you been running the Chastity Taylor Foundation?
Like I said, it's going on. It's our 5-year anniversary.
Okay.
So we're excited about it, and it's actually been a very good healing thing for me and my family to do this and give back and see all the smiles on the children's faces when we see them every year.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So just behind being a nonprofit owner, a nonprofit business owner, what's something that a lot of people looking from the outside in would think that it's easy, or this, you know what I'm saying, kind of like overestimate as far as what it takes to own a successful business and operate a successful business?
For a nonprofit, people often believe that you run it like a business, and to a certain extent it is. However, nonprofits have guidelines. So you have to, ensure that all your donations come through and using the tax exempt, that you document it, you keep track of it, and that every dime that comes in goes out. A lot of people believe that when you're donating to a nonprofit, it goes in someone's pocket.
Right.
I can't speak for anyone else. Our foundation, we get the donations in, and we usually pour in more money into what we have. So we make sure 100% of the money that come in is usually given to every child or whatever we're doing.
So that's something that I know requires an extra level of effort, kind of overseeing that.
Yes. It's really you trying to make sure you dot your I's and cross all the T's when that money comes in, and make sure it's allocated, especially if a business says it's allocated for one particular thing. You need to use that money for what they said.
That's what's up. So I know not just nonprofit owners, nonprofit business owners, but a lot of talent that we cross paths with in Jacksonville, whether it's talent, entrepreneurs, or any other high priority position like yours. What is something that you do to kind of maintain focus and juggle everything? Because a lot of people have that. That's like their number one issue, kind of juggling everything, time management, everything. How do you do that?
I will tell you it's hard. You will lose a lot of sleep, but if you're determined and you want it, you're going to do whatever it takes. And as far as time management, I'm great. For me, I'm happy that I have a great support team, so I can delegate a lot of things, even though I kind of hoard it because it's my baby. But I delegate a lot of things, so I have a great team that helps me out, and I have a great family support system. So when I'm tired and down, a lot of them kick in. But it's a lot of work. It's tiresome, but you just have to keep pushing if it's something that you really want to do. Never underestimate that it's easy. It's not easy.
Absolutely. I can definitely vouch for that. I want to be more of a that's one of my goals, to be more of a business owner as far as being more involved in the community. So right now it's just been entertainment. So I definitely want to branch out and do more in the community. So I definitely salute you on all that you do. And anything that we can do to help out, just let us know.
We appreciate it. You guys always been a great big support of us, so we appreciate that.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask, I know I don't know if you touched on it before, but I know one of the main focuses for Chastity Taylor Foundation is helping local youth and education. Why did you choose education and youth as your focal points?
I used the education piece, and I know we haven't really mentioned it, but because her accident was a DUI, DWI crash, that I chose that we wanted, and through our scholarship programs, they have to write essays. So we talked to them about it, and I wanted to touch the kids at a young age. Because if you're watching the news, a lot of times they're young age, that they're in the car with parents and aunts, and they don't even realize that they're in danger. So I felt if we can educate them on that for the DUI, DWI, that we can help them know the signs, know how to call someone. But in turn with that, we know that for education, that kids go to school, and a lot of times that's how you shape their mind to be what they're going to be when they grow up. So if we can support them and be mentors for them through all types of things, that's what we try to do.
All right, so one of the things that we always hear as artists and entrepreneurs is that Jacksonville doesn't support its own. Is that something that you've experienced personally, and can you give your reflections on that?
I would have to say I'm not originally from Jacksonville, and to a certain extent, I realize if you're not in a certain clique or circle, you don't always get as much support as you would like. But there are people here that will support different causes, but it is sometimes if they don't know who you are, they don't know what you stand for. A lot of times people sit back and they're not really sure. So I'm not going to say that I have gotten an overwhelming amount of support from Jacksonville, as big as Jacksonville is, but I have gotten some, and it is a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to it. A lot of times it's familiarity, like you say. So I guess the more that you're out there, the more people are familiar with your brand, and the more likely they are to support. So
it's a trust factor. Once they know that they can trust you.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. And you can't. I know for me, I don't blame people because you want to give your money to something that you're going to trust.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So do you have any business role models or anybody that you kind of looked up to coming up, or in your I don't know if you went to college or anything?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So in your college years or even after currently?
To be quite honest, when I started going to school, I wanted to be an attorney. So I went through the process of being an attorney. And somewhere after my master's, I was like, yeah, that's not what I want to do. And mainly because I didn't want to be locked in a box. I don't really have anyone because I didn't think I was going to be watching them and watching how they leveled up at so many ends. One of the persons that come to mind is the Real Judy, which is in New Orleans.
Right.
I watch her come up and like her success story and what she does. I just admire that so much. So I'm kind of, watching her leadership and what she's doing to help. Then of course your big names, your Oprahs and your Michelle Obamas and stuff like that, and just using them for inspiration to keep going.
Have you read her book? A lot of people are talking about it.
Yes, I have her book. I've read it, and it's just so sad I could not get to one of her events.
I'm pretty sure she'll be back in the area. She's like, I don't know if I heard it right, but I think that's the best-selling book.
Yes.
I think in recent history.
Yes.
So that's what's up. Big shout out to her. Hopefully she'll grace our platform.
I'm hoping one day.
But okay, so yeah, just one more question, and then we'll take a brief pause for the calls. Where can people find? I know you said you shouted out your Instagram earlier, your website. Where can people find you on social media? And if they want to find you after watching this interview, where can they find you?
Okay, for Facebook again, it's the Chastity Taylor Foundation, and for Instagram, it's at Chastity Taylor Foundation. And we do have a Twitter page. We're not as active on it, but if you want to go there, it's actually at CT Foundation 823. So you go to any one of those, and again, the website is chastitytaylorfoundation.org. So if you go to any one of those pages, you can find us, click on the links, but Facebook is the #1 place to know what we're doing.
That's what's up. All right, so we'll be right back right after this. Riverside, make sure if you're in the area, make sure you check it out. Get the chips and queso. I would definitely recommend that. So we're back here with Latricia Taylor of the Chastity Taylor Foundation. I want to start off with, I know we told the story of the Chastity Taylor Foundation, but I want to tell the story of Latricia Taylor. So who is Latricia Taylor?
Latricia Taylor, I don't know who she is. I don't know. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm an entrepreneur. Founder of Chastity Foundation. My life is the foundation mostly, so that's what I do besides making sure that I'm there for my family, and I'm just a family person. So outside of running an activity for the foundation and doing my own business, I'm into my family.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you said, I know we were talking off the record. I know you said that you went to college.
Yes, I did.
So could you tell them a little bit about your educational background and how that started out?
I started off, and I have a bachelor's degree in paralegal, and then I have a master's degree in criminal justice, and I actually have all but dissertation complete in my doctoral organization, leadership management. And unfortunately, when my daughter passed, I had completed all my coursework and just threw me for finishing my dissertation. So I'm going to go back and do that to finish that. Yes.
So I definitely look forward to hearing that you'll be a doctor.
Yes.
Latricia Taylor. I'm probably going to pause a little bit just to read these questions because it's super small print. But I'll cut it out. You already answered what drove your interest into starting the organization. Okay. So, how do you come up with the ideas for your events and the ideas to do the drives that you were talking about earlier? How do you come up with the ideas? I know that you, I think I saw that you did like a Great Gatsby event before.
Yes, that's one thing we haven't talked about in November because her anniversary is November 2nd. So we do every year, the first Saturday of November, we do a memorial fundraiser ball. And what that is we want to celebrate. So, but we also do it to raise money for the next year for the program. So we always have a theme. And normally my theme is once we're done with one of my sleepless nights, it'll just come to me. And once it come to me, I just start planning from there and seeing what, how to decorate, how to get it going. But it just comes to me. So I don't know how or why. It just have a thought process and say, okay, this is what I think next year should be in honor of her. And we have so much fun when we do them. We have done the last 3 years, I think, some type of a dress theme. This year is going to be just formal wear. I'm not going to let the cat out the bag of what our theme is this year yet. But yes, we have lots of fun at those events.
And for info, if people want to keep up to date, it's chastitytaylorfoundation.org, right?
Yes, and for the information on when that event is going to happen if you follow our Facebook page. And once we get the flyers out there, all the information of dates, ticket purchase, it will be out there on that page.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So a local news station just published a report about how African American students are the most suspended in the whole city, the whole county. What do you think, whether just particularly black students or all students, what do you think is the biggest roadblock for our students, the biggest roadblock for our youth?
I think the biggest roadblock, they need mentors.
Right.
They need people that they can see themselves in. So when we're speaking of our African American children, they want to see themselves in someone. They want to know that they can become an entrepreneur. And a lot of times, especially for the male children, it's either sports or some type of, normally it's sports that they're pushing. And if it's not the sports, I've noticed in this town, it's the military. So we have to show them that they can be entrepreneurs, they can own businesses, they can be doctors, they can be nurses. So we have to have role models that they can see themselves in those positions. So it's very important, like through our foundation, when they come to our August event, I talk to the children, I talk to the parents, and let them know that there is someone else so they can see that what we're doing, they also can do. And I think that's what they just need, more mentors, more people they can see as role models.
I definitely agree. So last question before we kind of lighten it up a little bit. Kind of continuing on what we were just talking about. What are some of the biggest threats that we as artists and talent and entrepreneurs can do to help these kids outside of just being mentors?
Really, to be honest, that's what it takes. Show up at different community events that have youth, and if you are anywhere, if you're a fireman, if you're a police officer, if you are an artist, if you are a football player, show up to those events. Go into the school districts. Don't do it just as an organized. Pop up to the school, talk to the principal, say, hey, I just want to come and pop into driver's ed or their computer class, so they can see someone that says, you can say, hey, I went to college. You know, school is important. You need to have school to get where you're going. And I think that kind of will help the children see something positive.
Absolutely. Setting an example means a lot. Just being there.
Yes, being there.
All right, so normally what we do is we switch up gears toward the end of the interview and we do top 5. So you just I roll off any random subjects like top 5 foods, top 5 locations, top 5 destinations, and then you just give your favorites.
Okay.
So just to kind of let our viewers know a little bit more about what's behind your brand and who you are as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
All right, so first thing is top 5 foods.
Okay. For me, I am a hors d'oeuvre junkie, finger food. I love, as you said, the queso dip and chips, little sliders. I'm a fried shrimp. Oh my God, love those. So is that 3? A good burger, bacon burger. Okay. And my favorite is a public sub.
That's what she is going to get right after the interview.
Love public sub.
All right, so top 5 destinations as far as venues or places within cities.
Well, destination, I can say we just came back from a fundraiser cruise from the Bahamas. Love that place. Let me see. I love Orlando. I just left Atlanta. It's not my first time being in Atlanta, but it's my first time exploring it. I think it's a beautiful city, so that's a place on the list to go visit. And Miami, it's another place, and we're within Florida. And if I go outside of Florida, a place I have not gone to yet will be California.
Okay. I definitely recommend California. I went out there for the first time last year, and we went to LA for the BET Awards. We didn't go to the actual awards, but just being out there, the whole vibe is so much different than Jacksonville is good, but out there it's like a whole different vibe out there. A whole bunch of creatives, entrepreneurs running around,
and that's where I'm trying to get to. So my goal is next year that I'm going there.
Absolutely.
Check it out.
I definitely recommend it. All right, 2 more. Favorite activities or top 5 activities or things to do?
Besides shopping, because I'm a woman, shopping, I actually like to walk. I do a lot of it. I don't do as much as I used to due to a back injury, but I walk, so that's my exercise. Hanging out with my granddaughter and my family, doing the park, amusement parks. We love to go again to Orlando and go to the amusement parks. What is the other thing? I guess just watching a good movie at home.
I feel that. Alright, so have you seen, just kind of off topic, but have you seen Us, the movie Us?
I have not seen that movie yet. I've been so busy. I have not seen it. I've heard about it, and that is on my list to actually see.
Definitely good one. I like it better than his other one, Get Out.
And I see Get Out, and I thought that was a good movie, but I've heard great ravings about Us, and people said the same thing.
So last one, favorite memories growing up.
Favorite memories growing up. I'll have to say I was raised, and which is probably why it's in me now, that I used to go to, my mom volunteered all the time, so she used to take us as little kids. So I love to go with her and see the people and the faces on people's faces and making them smile. It just warmed my heart. So that was one great memory. Another good memory would be hanging with my grandmother. She's not here yet anymore, but just going to her house and being outside, just being free, playing in her yard. You know, she lived in a little country town, so it's something different compared to the city. And hanging out with my cousins, and it was great. Yeah. So those are the two great memories.
You had to get 5, but that's
yeah. Those are the two best.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about the future. Where do you see yourself and the foundation in 10 years?
In 10 years, my goal for the foundation to be known nationally and internationally. That's my goal. I'm claiming it, and it is so. I'm not sure how we're going to get it there, but that's my goal. So in 10 years, I'm hoping that we are known nationally and internationally, and that we can have a goal that we're helping thousands of children.
Okay. Well, it's in the universe now, so it's going to happen.
Yes, it is.
All right, take a quick pause real quick. Okay, so this is actually my favorite question to ask. I came up with this one toward the end of the interview. What's your dream event to host as a foundation? If you had an unlimited budget, who would you bring as a speaker? Who would you have as a performer? Et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, wow. Okay, my dream event. It would be some type of a fundraiser, which will be helping, and not only raising money for our foundation. I would probably partner with a couple other organizations and causes that will help, so that we can help them. I would bring, of course, Michelle Obama.
Okay.
I would bring likes of Oprah. Okay. Powerful women. For entertainers, I would do some local people, because I think it's really good for the children to see people local doing things.
Absolutely.
And then as far as top, Candy Burgess will be my other person to bring, because I think she is a phenomenal, not only woman, but entrepreneur.
Right.
And as far as artists, let me see, outside of local artists, I listen to a lot of different music.
Okay.
That one is kind of hard, because I would definitely want one that the children would vibe with, but I also want someone that stood for something, that had a cause that they gave back, that went into what the theme was. Okay. So I would have to do research on that one.
Gotcha. So we're running check on that one until the next interview.
Yes.
All right, well, that's the end of the interview, so I just definitely want to thank you for coming out, spending a little bit of time with us, and sharing your story, and sharing information with our viewers. Any last shout outs you want to give?
Well, I appreciate you having me and doing this again. I appreciate all the support you guys have given us. You were one of the number one local person that reached out to us and been supporting us, so we really appreciate you and your fans and your audience. And for anyone else, if you just come out, hang out with us, support us, it's a good cause. We're doing some great things in Jacksonville, and we just want you to come out and help us continue to build.
Absolutely. Let's give them the website one more time.
Again, Facebook, The Chastity Taylor Foundation. On Instagram is @ChastityTaylor Foundation, and the website is chastitytaylorfoundation.org. Just check us out.
All right, so make sure y'all check that out ASAP. As soon as this interview is over, go check it out. All right, so until next time, I'll see y'all. Happy summer. Duval, stand up. Let's get it. All right, so that's a wrap.
All right.
That's what's up. So we made, what time? Oh, 8 o'clock.